Hey there, I just want to say yoga can be for everyone. However, it is your responsibility to determine if you are ready and able to perform this workout video. If you or a family member have a history of heart disease, high blood pressure, or are obese with any physical or medical condition that could be aggravated by a physical activity, please consult a physician before proceeding. If you are pregnant, also consider consulting a physician. If you have any history of injury such as neck, back, shoulder, or knee, please proceed with caution and stop immediately if you feel any pain, lightheadedness, or nausea. The user assumes all risks. Thanks, and I'll see you on the mat. You want to come be a cow with me? Huh? You want to be a cow? You like grass. No? Well, do you want to be a cow? I'm going to be a cow today. I hope you join me because today's pose breakdown is CowFace pose. So you'll decide whether you think we make something that resembles anything like a cow face, but we will try nonetheless. So if you don't know what this pose is, if you've tried it before but would like to know a little bit more, welcome, welcome. We will have a wealth of information for both of you to try out this delicious little animal-based pose. So first I am going to demonstrate on one of my sides, and then you can join along with me in trying this pose as we break down each part of the body. So, moo. Am I a cow? Yeah. Just make a little cow face here with my knees. That's where they say the face is supposed to be, right here. I don't know, but that was it. That is cow face pose. Well, at least the seated version. We are going to talk about the on your back version as well. So first, to break it down from a seated perspective though, to get into it, you're going to come into any sort of seated stance, bending a bottom leg. So I have my right leg underneath right now with the side of your foot down. So it's bent with the leg kind of going out. And then you are going to bend the top leg and stack it on top, bringing the side of the top foot down. So it's a little bit funky to get in. You want to stack your knees, and especially if you lack mobility in your hips or short, tight hips like me, then this can be difficult. So before we even proceed any further, when we are in a position like this, and if our hips aren't mobile, it can be torquing your knees. And when your knees are semi-flexed like this, your knee muscles, such as your meniscus, which is on the outside, is at risk. So you need to be careful and notice if you are feeling any sort of stretching sensation around your knees. Honor if your hips are a little bit tight. Mine definitely are, and it's just something we need to be aware about to keep ourselves safe and centered in these postures. So another trick that you can do to protect your knees, to add to it beyond just personal self-awareness and acknowledgement, is press the sides of your feet down. So when you flex the feet, that activates the muscles around the knees and should protect them, okay? So flex your feet, and that can also help with the pressure of the knees stacked and lengthening the sides of the hips. So it also can be a balancing, because the next step is the arms and upper body. So moving from our core, where our hips are semi-neutral, sit bones are down, our belly is in, and we want to lengthen tall through the spine, bringing our arms both overhead, and then dropping the opposite arm then that you have leg crossed. That was terrible. The leg you have crossed, bend the opposite arm, and then the corresponding arm to the leg you have crossed comes underneath at your back, and fingertips reach to clasp. So I'll demonstrate for those who didn't instantly feel that or haven't done this sort of tricep stretch before. So this is what you were doing. Bring your fingertips to reach and then make claps. Now, I know some of you are saying, I can't reach, my fingertips aren't going to get there. That's okay. I've dealt with shoulder immobility for a long time and it takes effort, and that's okay. What you can do is either grab a strap or a towel and keep that in your top hand as you bring it over, and then grab along it with your bottom hand and then start to work that bottom hand up. And then you can just start to pull together, creating that tension that you would with your hands, lifting your top elbow up and your bottom elbow back to start help lengthening that chest, opening it, okay? So I know that's kind of a lot as your legs are in this tricky little crossed position, but you can totally do it. So by creating that tension with the upper arms and opening the chest, it continues to press the sit bones down as you lift the belly and lift the spine muscles. So regarding the shoulder joints, you want to make sure that you are kind of pulling your shoulder blades in and making sure that you're not moving around too much here, okay? So it should be opening the front of the bottom shoulder. The triceps of the top shoulder should be lengthening over the elbow, and so many other delicious things with the top of the body. Again, regarding breathing, we can start to really focus on the action in the upper body by focusing on a chest breath. So as we come into the bind, we can breathe in, expand the chest, exhale it out. And breathing in, focusing on expanding the chest, creates that intrinsic expansion and release that we're kind of looking for. So it allows that effort to come in without too much from our shoulders, okay? So breathing into the chest, expanding out the shoulders, and we activate more of what's there. On the flip side, you can bring a more belly breath in and focus on releasing the pelvic floor and the outer hip muscles, which are lengthening here. So we've got our piriformis, our gemellus, and our gluteus medius, which is on the side, lengthening as our feet are in this position. And so if you're not already feeling it from sitting like this, there is a way to just purely focus on the action that occurs in the bottom half of our body, and that is taking this pose onto our back. So this is when I'm probably more likely to do it because I personally just like other arm stretches, and this I feel like allows me to access what I need more, which is those deep-rooted glute and hip muscles. So you're coming onto your back, you cross one leg over, stacking the knees the same way you were on the ground, but to bring the feet into the position that they need to, you're gonna have to use your upper body strength. So you'll gently use your core to pull your chest up, reaching for your feet for the outsides of both of them. As you start to lay back down, you can use those arm strength to start to pull those feet toward your face. So you're trying to create that flat sensation that we had on the ground with our arms by pulling our shins, our feet closer to our face. So if reaching those feet are out of reach, you can go for the shins, but you may have to focus a little bit more on pulling the bottom shin than the top. Whereas if you grab your feet, it's a little bit more equal. One thing I do find is sometimes the gap between my inner thighs occurs as I pull them a little bit closer, and that's okay. That's just my body naturally trying to keep my pelvis square. I've got big hips, big thighs, and so sometimes things just have to shift. So as you pull them in, there might be a little bit of gap between your thighs here, and that's okay. As long as you're keeping both hip points down on the earth, on your pelvis and your shoulders and your back down. That's what matters, okay? So as you work into it, you can gently pulse, starting to pull those feet more towards the face. So this is a really good one for runners, for desk sitters, so sedentary and active lifestyles alike. This can reach deep into those glute muscles that are so hard to reach because you just have so much muscle in our hips. And as a result of working on these muscles, it works on other muscles in the legs and could, by a domino effect, help in other ways. So maybe consider keep bringing this one back into your practice and trying. If not, and you are still like, why is this called CowFace? Then don't worry about it. Just keep coming back, keep trying, and keep questioning things. So that's what it's about. That's yoga, and that's about it for the day. So remember to breathe in these poses and check in with yourself. Make sure that if you feel any stretching sensation in the hips or the knee joints, to just back off and reassess, realign, and come back into it safely and ready to go. So that's it for our pose breakdown today. I hope you learned something. I love you all so much, and I'm so glad to continue sharing, especially these poses that work so deep on my body. I hope someone out there also is finding enjoyment. If not, and you're just listening for fun, thank you. Love you all. Hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Namaste.